All right. Welcome on in, everybody. How do we sound? We sound good? I've been having some issues earlier today with this. So I just want to make sure we're good because, boy, do we have a lot to talk about after this race. So let me know down below. We good? Sweet. Awesome. Um, you're seeing there's guys talking on pit road. I've seen there's people that are sparring on pit road. They're sparring in the chat about this race. They were sparring on the racetrack. All in all, I won't be honest. I thought it was a pretty fun race. But there you go. If you're watching now, I know I'm a little behind. Sanchez and Love getting into it a little bit, and then Sam Mayer in the background having a good old time. I love this. I love it. I thought this was a really fun race. Let me know in the chat, what did you give this race out of 10? Personally, I thought it was about an 8. I thought it was a really fun race. And we're seeing the fireworks after the fact. I absolutely love it. Jesse Love not happy at all. Looking at the chat here in our nice, beautiful purple, which it reminds me, I got a new purple, whatever this is, pop filter for these races to finish out the year. But a lot of people 8s, 7s, or 7.8, 8.19. Generally, people are pretty damn happy with that race. That's for sure. I know a lot of people are big on the Zilich train and all of that. So maybe not happy with Almirola winning, but it was a battle all night long. And let's go through the finishing results of this race. Eric Almirola gets the W over Connor Zilich by about 0.7 of a second is the margin of victory. 201 laps total, 4 cautions, 22 laps, 15 lead changes, 2 hours, 13 minutes, 31 seconds. He finishes second, Zilich, that is, to Almirola. Then Allgaier in third. Day with a pretty damn good fourth, where he should be running in that car. Sanchez in fifth over Love. 2 of them close together on the track, and also really close when it comes to after the race on pit road. That's for sure. And then after that, we got Ryan Sieg with a great run. He was running top 5, top 10 most of the night. Gray, Mayer, 9th, a good recovery on his end because it could have been a whole lot worse for the 41 tonight. Slow pit stop. CW really never followed up on what the hell that was, other than I would assume maybe the gun messed up or something. And Austin Hill finishes 10th. Then Creed, Sawalich, Jones, Brandon, that is, Harrison Burton and Quapple, the top 15, Hemrick 16th, Dye in 17th, 18th Eckes, Matty D 19th, and Sammy Smith, the top 20. The rest of the lead lap finishers: Kyle Sieg, Trevor Bain, Williams, Alfredo Poole, Jeb Burton, Perkins, that is the top 27. 28th, Thompson, 1 lap down. Then Ellis and Retzlaff, the top 30. 2 down for Austin Green. He's got the road courses figured out. Long way to go on the ovals. Maybe better equipment might help with that. Who knows? But 2 laps down for him. Smithley in 32nd. And then Maggio 3 down in 33rd. Lights, same thing, 34th. And Gase, last one on track, 5 laps down, 35th position. 3 drivers were out at the end of this race: Clement, Massey, and Annunziata. One of the greatest names to say. He has an awesome name. Finishing order will be on the bottom. More than likely, I spelled somebody's name wrong. Y'all let me know. Let's talk about the race for the lead, because I'll be honest, the first bit of this race, it was kind of just hemming and hawing through it all. But before we do that, I'm actually going to, on-air production meeting, take a photo of the playoff grid, because Zilich technically not locked in, but I feel like in going into Talladega, which again, long way to go with the Talladega front of it. But I feel like Zilich, there's got to be some kind of clinching scenario for him. The max you can score without a win is, I think, 55, I want to say. 56 now with the fastest lap. So 55 is the max points you can make up in a race. So you basically just do 82 minus 55. I believe that's 27. And then you maybe take away the other 8 points there. So I'm assuming it'd probably be like a top 10 can clinch him next week. But it's Talladega, so you never know. But Zilich is plus 82. He should be, if not a lock, pretty damn close to a lock. Allgaier 44 up. He's getting close to being a full race up in the points. Pretty good position for him too heading into Talladega. He's got a buffer room, and that's about all you can ask for. From there, I'd be nervous if it was everyone else. Love plus 20. He's really great here, but we've seen you can get taken out and lose 29 points on the last lap, 30 points. It's not in any way a done deal for him to get through, even though he's good at Talladega, even though he's got a car that's in the past been pretty damn good at Martinsville. 8 points for Sam Mayer over Brandon Jones. That might as well be nothing heading into Talladega. And then from there, Creed minus 21, Quapple minus 22, and Sammy Smith minus 24. Hi, Riss. Riss is saying hi in the background to y'all. Wifeberg, that is. She made kielbasa. Thank you. Sorry. Always got to prop her up, right? And that sounded like a really bad way of saying it. Always got to give credit where it's due for the better half. How about that? That's a better one. She won't be on camera. Got to take care of little ice cube back there, or chip off the old berg. But yeah, playoff wise, it's close. Other than Zilich and Allgaier, which is about what we expected heading forward into Talladega. It could be completely shuffled up, but from there, it's third through eighth is where we're watching. But you could finish first through 30th on the last lap at Dega. We'll find out in a week's time. As for the race, let's talk about the race itself, because that's why you're here. We had fun watching the race, championships, and afterthought at the end of the day. The battle for the lead tonight was fun as hell, because nobody could stay in the lead for very long, right? You had guys that led a lot of laps. Eric Almirola led 107 of 201 laps. But I'll ask y'all in the chat, and maybe you felt differently. Did you really feel like Almirola led over 50% of this race? Because I don't think it felt like he led over 50% of this race. I think it felt like he was racing for his life the whole time against Zilich, against Allgaier, against Love, Sanchez even challenging on some of those restarts. It really didn't feel like it was a dominant race. Numbers-wise, it'll show on the stat sheet that it was a dominated race by Eric Almirola. But Love had the best long-run car. Stage racing early in the race doesn't really help with that, but we usually get these longer runs at Las Vegas, and you saw that 2-car came to life. Definitely had the best car on runs that are about 20 laps or longer, right? Allgaier stayed in the fight for a lot of the night. He wasn't really one of the main fighters in that, but he stayed in the fight. Zilich just gets better as he goes, but you could see the frustration building. I don't think he's fully had this track figured out like some of the others. But he made a great pass for the lead, great passes for the lead, especially the one against Love, just the dueling between them through lap traffic. At one point, you had the three of them all under a blanket. Hemrick rolls through on the high side as a lap car with fresher tires. You're having that battle between them where you have to really judge where the lap car is going to come out of the corner and how you're going to be able to get that exit. That hurt Almirola at one point. On the other end, though, I mean, Love, I don't know what happened to Love at the end. I know that he didn't have the best short run car, but they just fell off. I mean, finishing sixth does not do justice to just how good Jesse Love was. I've put him in my final four, or at least in contention because of Talladega. I wasn't expecting him to go out and be the best long run car tonight. We had 4 cautions, 2 of those for the stages. So of course, there were a few little ones here or there, but I got to give him credit. That was better than I thought he would be going out into this race. On the other end, there were some that struggled in this race that I was surprised with. Brandon Jones looked really good. And then once he lost that track position, could never get it back. There was passing throughout. There were comers and goers. But, we really didn't, you didn't have people that could just go all the way to the back and then charge all the way back up to the front. It very much still was very difficult to pass, especially for Xfinity standards, but in general, and that's kind of a Las Vegas special. It's going to be difficult. But some of the others too. I mean, Sheldon Creed was just mediocre all night long. The 11th place finish he had, just kind of like Love doesn't do credit, but in the other way, he outperformed where he ran a lot of this race. Sam Mayer was in the teens, had a terrible pit stop that CW never covered. Somehow comes back for a 9th place run. He had a great short run car, especially the first 3 to 5 laps after the restart. And then the car just went to shit. It was awful. But he comes back for a 9th place run. That could be a huge difference in 2 weeks' time at Martinsville. At one point, I think he thought that he had a voltage issue, oil pressure issues, all of that. A lot of it probably due to the wind on the backstretch, which has been a huge factor at this track for years. This has just been a Vegas staple, because I believe Sammy Smith had a similar issue. It just seems like, I guess it was just a tough night to be named Sam. They interviewed Day. Great run for him as well. Just got better as the night went on. I'm curious to see, now that he has a lot of seat time, what he can do next year. I know a lot of people have been down on him. I've been down on him for early on, but some drivers, it takes some time to get into the rhythm of things. He's seeming to get better as it goes. I would like to see how he can do full-time next year, which is, I don't know if is that confirmed? I know it's been a rumor for a while. I don't know if it's confirmed or not. So I think there were a lot of things even outside of the playoff topics to talk about. When you look at Day, when you look at Haas just being off in general, when you look at Almirola, I mean, you take the driver's side out of it. He's in the owner's championship fight in that 19 car. And I would say it's pretty fitting. He's one of the few that I think could, and tonight did show, could take it to Zilich. Still Zilich and Allgaier up front. If I'm looking off screens, because there's the results all there. But all in all, I mean, there weren't many notes to take of this race of major things happening until the final stage. And it was just that racing for the lead. There was passing through the pack. It wasn't like it was just for the lead, and that's what makes the race great. It was fun throughout. The restarts were insane. Love at one point taking it 3 wide down on the apron, going after the lead. A few times drivers took it 3 wide going for the lead on restarts and in general, through the run. And that was just a lot of fun. I'm sad that this is the last mile and a half of the season for Xfinity and Cup, because these Xfinity cars are great. If this is considered the lower end of the mile and a halves in my book, it shows just how damn good it is. Cup, I would argue, is probably going to be better tomorrow based on how good the next gen car is at these types of tracks. Like I want to see another one, I'm glad next year we have Homestead as the finale, so we can end on this kind of great note. Because imagine a race and a fight for the lead next year, regardless of if it's the same format, if it's 3-3-4, if it's full season, 10 race chase, doesn't matter. Imagine the taste in everybody's mouths after the race is finished at Homestead, to finish the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup seasons with the racing that would be like this. I feel like people would go into the offseason so much more, I don't know if even positive, but just so kind of energized about how the season ended off. I'm glad Chicagoland's coming back, because that's another mile and a half. Let's get the Charlotte Oval back on, and maybe one more there. Man, I wouldn't have thought it 8-10 years ago, but mile and a half racing is some of my favorite racing, especially in the top 2 series in NASCAR. Tonight's battle for the lead and win just further pushes me that direction. But to be fair, Xfinity Series season's going to end off really fun regardless. We got Talladega next week. It's probably going to be the best race of the weekend unless Cup pulls out a miracle. Martinsville Xfinity, always insane. Always a fun run to the finish of the season and race there. And then even though it's Phoenix, it's the Xfinity Series car. It's going to race really damn well. I had a lot of fun tonight. I don't know if you could tell the energy. I have a lot of energy. Very happy with what I saw, and I think tomorrow can be better. And that makes me so excited for tomorrow and the Cup race. But from here, after this race, we have 10 races to go in the entire NASCAR season. One race tomorrow, and then 3 straight triple headers to end off the season. So 10 races to go of this season of nearly, I want to say it's nearly 100 races that NASCAR runs across the top 3 series. We're getting to the end game. It's been a lot of fun. Here, by the way, are the point standings. Whew. Man, love NASCAR. NASCAR is so damn fun. And yes, it has. The year has flown by so far. And trucks, 4 p.m. Fox at least, but that is a little weird. But fun fact, I believe this is true. Next weekend will be, I believe, the only time all year that all 3 NASCAR races for the top 3 series are OTA, as an over-the-air channels that everybody can get. You got the trucks on Friday on Big Fox. You have Xfinity, of course, on the CW. And you have Cup on NBC. So if you're a NASCAR fan, or you're know a NASCAR fan that hasn't been able to watch or has kind of been turned off, you got a full weekend of Talladega from Friday through Sunday that you can just have a blast watching. So, hey, so it is okay. Yeah, someone might have to fact check me on that, but I believe that's true. I believe it's the only time all weekend you can see all 3 of them over the air. And I believe this year Fox actually, if I'm remembering right, I think Fox has as many truck races on Big Fox as Cup points races this year. Because of course I don't think you count the Clash in one of those, because I think they had the first 3 races and then Talladega. So priorities, man, right? Of course they just do that to get the ratings up on their dying cable channels. Hey, I think it's gonna be a fun end of the year for the most part. Let's go to the super chat cooldown lap here. Timothy Wolf says we finally have a brand new game to play. Yes, I have been playing that. I think I'm gonna get a review out on it probably Tuesday. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I'll probably have a review out, probably Tuesday, I would say. Maybe Monday. Maybe I'll double upload Monday. I don't know. But yeah, we finally have a functioning, I would say, pretty good game to play. Not to give away too much of what I'm going to say. Definitely places to improve, but compared to where we were with Ignition, it's night and day. It's not even night and day, man. It's like medieval times versus Star Trek, with technology. I almost said Star Wars, but I'd say Star Trek's probably a better comparison. And then Jeffrey King says Zilich and Almirola were given Gordon V. Johnson vibes from 2011 Atlanta. Great product. Next gen needs that 10 out of 10. Well, next gen's pretty damn good at these tracks too. But I would say, that's pretty similar. Honestly, it was pretty similar in the way they were sliding around. You had to take care of your stuff. I believe that one was a longer run to the finish though. And of course, Atlanta was more of a cheese grater, but, to be fair, I got to rewire my brain to remember that 2007 wasn't 5 years ago when this track was repaved. This track surface is 18 years old. The track is legal now. Man, and God, I remember when that reconfiguration and repave happened. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe it's that damn long ago. All right, so we'll be live tomorrow after the Cup race, I'll put up the stream probably a little bit before the green flag. We can all hang out in here, have a good old time, and then we'll be live on Wednesday with on Danny B's channel for NWP October 15th. Should be a lot of fun. We'll probably talk more NASCAR 25 among other topics. There's bound to be some kind of big stories to end the season off on top of the racing itself. No scheduled guests the rest of the year, but we may have some people randomly pop in the last 4 weeks. Who knows? So definitely going to have to tune in every step of the way. Last one on Danny's channel for the year. But again, we'll be live tomorrow. Can't wait. So thank you guys so much for coming in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. I'll see you late tomorrow evening. Till then, have a good one. Later, y'all. Bye. It would help if I hit the end stream button.